We are continuing the countdown of the top 50 tequilas of 2024 right here on the Tequila Hombre. Coming up next. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Tequila Hombre, where we're continuing the countdown to the top tequilas based on sales from Ferment and Still, which is a website that caters towards those looking for top quality tequilas with no additives that are made right. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get back to our countdown. Okay, number 20 on the list comes out of NO 1579 originally. It's no longer there anymore. It moved to a different distillery. But the reason why this one made the list is we're going to put an asterisk next to it. And the reason being is originally when this tequila came out, it was priced pretty aggressively. It was priced pretty high and it didn't sell. But Ferment and Still was able to accumulate or acquire a large amount of it at a really low price. And because of that, they were able to lower the price for the sales to far below what a lot of other websites were able to sell it for. So the reason why this one sold so well was because it was priced really low compared to what other places were able to sell it for. So this is a price thing more than it is people coming back and paying the regular price for it, because when it was at its regular price, it really did not sell. So that tequila is, drum roll, Primo 1861 Blanco. Now, I don't have a bottle of it because I wouldn't buy it. It was too expensive. I did do a review of it, but I'll post a picture of it right here so you can see what the bottle looks like. When it came out, it was priced really high and people didn't think it was good enough to pay the high price. And so it really didn't sell. But when Ferment and Still was selling it for half price, people were buying it to try it and more people bought it. So then it made the list for this year being our top 20. So that's it. Number 20 comes in. It's Primo 1861 Blanco. Number 19 is always a top seller. It always does really well. It's a limited release, so Ferment and Still is only able to get a certain amount of bottles, and it sells out quick. So number 19 is, you guessed it, Ocho Puntas. The Ocho Puntas for this year is amazing. It's really good. It's always really good quality tequila. If you haven't tried Tequila Ocho in general, I have a whole shelf right here. You can see it right there. That whole shelf is dedicated to Tequila Ocho. So it's a really good tequila, and the Ocho Puntas is something special that comes out every year. So that comes in at number 19 on our list as the 19th top selling tequila of 2024. Number 18 is a brand also out of NOM 1579, and it's one that I know really well. I've done reviews of their stuff, and we actually offered some of their products to the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective, and it's a solid brand, and I love this particular expression. It is the G4 Reposado. So if you haven't tried the G4 Repo, I definitely recommend picking some up and trying some. It's always really good. They've kind of messed with the flavor profile and stuff, doing some different things with barrels, but it's still really good. So if you haven't picked up a bottle of G4 Repo in a while, or if you haven't picked one up at all, make sure you pick up a bottle and try it. It is definitely a top-notch Reposado. So number 18 on the list is G4 Reposado. Number 17 on the list is one that I'm proud to be one of the people, or the first one to introduce this to you all. It's an amazing brand made by Jimmy Salza, and it is the second expression of theirs to make this list. It is the Dos Analcitos Reposado. It's a solid Reposado. You can see I've already drank a lot of this bottle. Solid Reposado, really nice flavor profile. Highly recommend it. Really made well, no additives. It's just really enjoyable sipper, and Ferment and Still sells a lot. So there you go. Number 17 on the list, the Dos Analcitos Reposado. Number 16 on the list is a special release for this year. And Ferment and Still sold quite a bit of it because it comes from Master Tequilera Sophie Decabec. You guessed it. It is the Calle 23 y Única Blanco Tequila Special Edition that came out this year. It is a beautiful Blanco, really nice flavor profile and stuff to it. Now, there's going to be an asterisk as to one of their other tequilas is on this list coming up here, so we'll explain that to you in a little bit. But coming in at number 16 is the Cay Trace Blanco. Number 15 on the list is one that's near and dear to my heart because it is a single barrel selection that I personally made. Now, it's kind of been like a hidden secret on Ferment and Still where a lot of people didn't know about it, and we were kind of keeping it quiet so members of the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective could grab bottles and sample it. But people are finding out about it now as people are talking about it, and so people are coming and buying it now. And so it made the list at number 15. It is the El Tesoro Single Barrel Reposado for the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective. Really solid Reposado. Now, there's an interesting story behind this one. And actually, I actually didn't pick this because I picked a barrel, and the barrel was actually lost during a distillery accident. So Carlos Camarena, a good friend of mine, went and selected a bottle out of his reserves, a barrel out of his reserves. And so this bottling is a barrel that came out of Carlos Camarena's private reserves. So it's really special in that Carlos picked this out of his private reserve stuff he normally keeps for himself and allowed us to have it because our barrel was destroyed in an accident at La Alteña. So there you go. Number 15 on the list is the El Tesoro Single Barrel Reposado for the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective. Number 14 on the list comes from my good friends at NOM 1414. Of course, that is Feliciano Vivanco and Associates, or Distilleria Viva Mexico, and it is their house brand and the expression I drink the most from Viva Mexico. It is the Viva Mexico Reposado. Whenever I go to visit them in Arandas, I normally will drink a lot of Reposado when I'm with them. I drink some Blanco too, but mostly the Reposado. This is my favorite expression from Viva Mexico, or at least was, until we had a special release from them that came out this year that we'll talk about later on in the countdown. But right now, number 14 on the list is the Viva Mexico Reposado. Number 13 on the list also comes from 1414 and Master Tequilero Sergio Cruz and Sergio Vivanco, my good friends at Feliciano Vivanco and Associates, otherwise known as Distilleria Viva Mexico. And yes, it is their house brand as well. It is the Viva Mexico Añejo, a solid Añejo, really enjoyable, really nice flavor profile. You can see I drink this too. Highly recommended. If you haven't tried any of the Viva Mexico line, pick up a bottle of each and try it. You can't lose with Sergio Cruz. Hey, that's a new rhyme. You can't lose with Sergio Cruz. Well, there you go. So number 13 on the list is the Viva Mexico Añejo. Okay, so this next item on our list, which is coming in at number 12, is going to have an asterisk next to it as well. There's a reason why this one made the list, and it's not because people were buying it at the regular price and such. It's because originally, when they issued their special release product, you had to buy 2 bottles of this with it. So it's the Cay Trace Red Label Blanco. Now, this by itself would not be a top seller, but the only reason why it is if you wanted to buy the Única, you had to buy it in a bundle with 2 bottles of the Cay Trace Blanco. So for every bottle of Única that was sold, 2 bottles of the Cay Trace Blanco went with it. It went as a bundle, and so that's why this one finished up at number 12 on the list. If it was by itself, it wouldn't have made the list. So let's put an asterisk next to this one, but it is number 12 on the most sold tequilas from Ferment and Still for 2024. Number 11 on our list also comes from Felipe Camarena at NOM 1579. And of course, it is highly loved Blanco. When it comes out, everyone scrambles to try to get it, to see how it compares to the last edition that came out. You guessed it. It is the G4 Madera Blanco. Comes in at number 11 on this year's top selling tequilas of 2024. Ferment still sold a lot of it, and people still love this Blanco, and each edition, each offering that comes out tastes completely different from each other. So if you haven't tried the new one, I recommend giving it a try. It's one of the better ones in my opinion, but it's really good and enjoyable. So if you haven't tried it, number 11 on the list is the G4 Madera Blanco. Well, that's it for this episode. If you have tried any of the tequilas on this list, make sure you click the like button and give it a like. If you're new to the channel and you want to see what the top 10 are, which is coming up in the next episode, make sure you click the subscribe button right there and the notification bell next to it so you get notified every time I post a new review video, as well as these countdown videos, as well as informational videos that will aid you and help you in becoming a more informed and powerful consumer, so you don't make any mistakes when you go to the liquor store or look online to buy a bottle of tequila and end up buying the wrong stuff. We're here to help. And until next time, like I always say, life is too short to drink bad tequila, so let me help you find the good stuff. Salud. Bye, guys.